Who gyp you to miss wick the koozies slipping? Hey people, that last movie I told you I was going to go on and finish reading this. And I noticed, that last line ended with this S, which I believe means a seal. The same as it was up in the middle of the line up here. And so I look over here at this apocalyptic Bible, to get a better picture of how this is written. It shows me the paragraphs. And as it ends with a seal. And this is that seal I was looking at. And this is the one that's in the middle of the line. But what I noticed here is these numbers is off. Where they say it's 12, the ancient says it's 11. This is Yod, this is 10. So I noticed, they start 2 at number 1 up here. And so when I looked for the number on number 1, it says the cage, KG, cage. So KG means 23. And what that tells me is that line actually was the last line of Second Chronicles 13 and didn't belong there. And so what that tells me, this is all part of the same story. That's the next page of the same story continuation. So if you're interested in investigating this, you have to check out several of the Bibles. They hide stuff all the time. So this word who gyp, they're saying so struck, and they're mistaking it with whack, to strike forcefully, like the mobsters say, whack him, kill him. And usually whack is what they'll say is struck. And mostly anything, whatever vowel they put in there, they'll say it means struck. But this is who gyp, and you'll see, in this category of words, I say it comes up 5 times, 49 total, and all they do is they put everything with a GP in it, the GP and GP, the gyp, and they leave all the whack category out of it. So gyp means, if you went and bought an ounce of weed and you brought it home and put it on your scales and it was 3 joints light, you got gypped. And you might have that person whacked, but just because, they gypped you doesn't mean the word gyp means whack. You can see it here in Exodus 2:12 when Moses killed the guard, and he looked this way and that way and he saw when nobody was looking, no one, and whack, it's W-I-K, wick. And so you can see here, it's struck and slew and smote, all the same thing. And anything with a K in there, they even have the W in it sometimes. Back, hack, and hack is more of a struck, a hack and a whack. But this is the whack, W-A-K, whack, and struck, smite. Give him a good to the hand, handy, to, and then backwards and forwards, yod, the hand, handy, whack. Whatever hand's empty, that's what I'm going to whack you with. You grab your money with one hand and whack him with the other. But you can see it down at the bottom of this list of words, the whack, whacka, the whack-who, and whack-em. But this is the list of words, it's whack. That isn't whack, that's gyp. And there is no Egypt in this Hebrew Bible. And so that's probably what happened to them. They probably gypped somebody and got whacked. And that's where they got their nickname, the Gypt. The Gypters. And so what this actually says is, who gyp you to missuck the koozie is slipping. To missuck the koozie is slipping. We're talking about the koozie and taking certain letters out of it. To missuck the koozie slipping as soul, as S-A-U-L, as soul ping, as soul place you would winds to. I will put your soul upon the winds. Yes, so this does mean kill, but this doesn't mean struck or kill. This means you killed him because he gypped you. Who gyp you to missuck the koozie is slipping a soul will a soul place you would wins to the cusses. So this is what they call in the koozie is this spirit safe, and you distill, you warm it up enough to get your alcohols to evaporate, and they condense in here, and they go into a koozie. You got a cold water bath, a spirit safe. It keeps it cool so they don't evaporate on you. What Gypt you is what evaporates from your koozie. And so these aren't the same words. The first time it reads backwards and forwards to missuck the koozie, and then slipping. The koozie is slipping. What's gypping you from evaporating from your koozie? And then over here, this is the cusses, as in, you're talking about a person who gyp you to missuck the koozie is slipping. The slipping some out of your koozie. As soul place you would winds to. Put the soul in the winds. The cusses. And the cuss is an ancient way of saying that little mama effer, cusses. Somebody who does you wrong, this is the Sunday way of describing them. They're a little cuss. Those little cusses. And then this word they say is pursued, who read piss. And her pursued is who read poo. And you can see it used here for pursued the majority of the time. Most of them are nines, most are read up, but 15 times here it's who read poo, and chased after. But who read poo means a tracker. Somebody who reads the poo left behind. You're tracking your game. You're looking at their poo. Who read poo. Pursued after isn't quite right. It means the tracker is who. The person who read poo, or how read poo. And so this is how red pisses of those raise to mamu. Mamu, backwards, forwards, to, M-O-M-U. Mamu means the bulk of. To raise the red pisses, to those raise the bulk of. The A-D-R, the adder, regal. The king snake, the adder, the snake, regal, king, lager. The king snake lager is the red piss. So it sounds like this old king snake red lager was one of their best sellers. Who red pisses of those raised to mamu, to the bulk of the adder, regal, lager, the serpent king lager. Who pull from Koozies lane of this, from high give, where basin is brew, backwards forwards, W-R, where B-S-N-S, basins brew, where the basins brew of place, have you, will place much new. Who saw the cellar be made? And that's where you brew and store your stuff is. Who saw the cellar, S-L-L-E-R, B-M-A-D, the cellar be made, the place they brewing it up. Who cut a coal from Euro whores, survive what jerky they iPad have you. And so, who cut a call, what cut is getting a call, is being eaten, is being consumed by Euro, I-R-O-E, by the Euro whores, the European cities. Ori, the Ori is the place of. So it's backwards and forwards. A call from the Euro whores, the European cities, survive what? Jerky. A jerky ride of the iPod. The iPod came the fear. Oh, watch out for that iPod. I believe he's talking about the iPad, the sailors that pad one eye so they can see at night when they come out. They always keep one eye covered in the light so at night they can see with that eye. The iPad. Who cut to a call from Euro whores, from the European cities, survive what jerky the iPad have you. The jerky ride, a shaky ride ain't good for beer. The iPad have you a lies, wives to talk of, from Euro whores. Give these in it. ZE is it. To give these easy, these be in ZE. To give these in it, rabba height in this. So these iPad wearing sailors, to have you a lies. A lies is like realize, but realize would mean that you already knew it and forgot it, and you realize it, you alize it again. And so, this is have you alize, and it kind of means what we would say to realize, but it's to just figure it out, to alize. The wives to talk, backwards and forwards, to TALK, the talk of, from the Euro whores, from the European cities. Give these in it, rabba height in this. So you can see that, spoil exceedingly much there was in them. And it means to give these in it, rabba, and that's not much. That means they were highly honored, like the rabbis, first be. To give these in it, first be height in this. They were much honored. The sailors were much honored for delivering the beer to Europe. And goes ill the alley, I-L-E, ill the alley, in the enclosure. And goes ill and drunk in the alley, from fun hack to, wishing what's on Lauren, to game lies, the wishing were us less, the wish in W-I-R, were us less, L-S. And so whacking the sailors, that ain't real wise. Sailors pretty tough, but though airmen, that was the old game. And goes ill in the alley. He's drunk in the alley, from fun hack to. The wishing what's WTS, what's on Lauren. Wishing what's on Lauren. They see something they want. You lure them out with a girl. To the game lies, the wishing were us less. So when they get a hold of a sailor, they're going to find out that they wish they didn't. The sailor's pretty tough. It takes about 10 Marines to beat one sailor. That's a fact. I've seen it too many times. Alright, well, I'll finish this chapter up. I'm going to backtrack to that one I was doing before this and finish it up. I'm going to try to backtrack to everything that I got lured away from. I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.